I am using Lion Brand's 24/7 cotton, which is a worsted weight cotton yarn. It is mercerized, which means it's woven and it's got this beautiful finish to it that makes it super durable, but yet it's still really soft. Now, I love Lion Brand's 24/7 cotton. I use it for a ton of things, but especially bags. I'm using 3 skeins of, did I go with taupe or did I go with, what did I go with? Yeah, I went with taupe. So this is taupe. I'm going to be using 3 skeins for this bag with 2 contrasting colors, one of which is ecru, and this other one, I think I chose camel. Let me see, my labels popped off. That's my other taupe label. And yes, camel. So I am using 3 skeins of taupe for my main color, and then my 2 contrasting colors are camel and ecru. Now, what I plan to do with this bag is I'm going to work this all in single crochet rows that are going to be worked in this direction, which means that we are going to be doing some increases, some extension stitches, and then coming back down with some short rows and decrease stitches to create the bag panels. So right now, this is the side of the bag, and I'm moving my way into the middle of the bag. What I'm then going to do is, using all of the colors, I plan to work some surface slip stitch, I plan to do some cross stitching, I plan to do some running stitches, everything all over this bag to give it a lot of different texture and visual interest. So for example, say in this section right here where I'm using the camel, I might take the ecru and run surface slip stitch up every other row to kind of give it some texture. I might come here in the ecru and use the camel or maybe even the taupe to do some cross stitching sections. And my hope is that by doing that, I can give this a really, really unique look to it. This is the first completed panel of this bag. And what I want to show you right now is how we create these straps. So at this point, what I have done is I have created this side portion right here of the bag, so you can see. So you have here, you have a few rows with no increases, and then we slowly increase up this way. But this entire side from when we start has increases the entire way down until we reach a little bit farther down here. But where we are right now is this is the last row that just has increased stitches at the beginning and end. And we are now going to do what I note in the pattern as a foundation extended single crochet. So what I've already done is I have single crocheted 70 stitches up my side. This row right here that we have the extension single crochets has no increased stitch at the bottom. So we come up 70 stitches, we put our single crochet in this last stitch, and then we are going to do 5 extension stitches. So to do an extension stitch, what we are going to do is insert our hook into this last worked stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 1. This is going to create the bottom of our first extension stitch. We're then going to yarn over and pull through both loops, finishing our first stitch. Now, to continue extending, what we are going to do is we are going to insert our hook through the bottom of the stitch, yarn over, pull up 1 loop again, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. And so now we have created 2 extension stitches. We are going to keep repeating that by inserting our hook through these bottom 2 loops, yarning over, pulling up 1, yarning over, pulling through 1, yarn over, and pull through 2 to complete the stitch. So as you can see, I have created 1, 2, 3 extension stitches. We need to create a total of 5 extension stitches to work the first part of this strap. One, two, three, four, 5. Now what we will do is we are going to turn. I am not making chain ones at the end of my rows for any of these rows that I've created because I feel that it makes a nicer and cleaner edge. So I'm going to turn my work, and now, as I did before, I'm going to single crochet down this side. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is the 5 extension stitches. And now, continuing with nothing being any different than before, just single crochet down. As I am coming to the end of this row, this is a increase row as well. So I'm going to place 2 single crochet stitches in my last stitch, turn. Again, we're not chaining 1. And I'm going to single crochet in every stitch on my way back up this row, including this section here. And then at which point, when I reach this final stitch, I'm going to add a second set of 5 foundation stitches and then work back down. Okay, I'm coming back up to the end of this row where I have to place another set of 5 extended foundation single crochet stitches. So I want to show you that one more time. So I just placed my last stitch. I'm going to insert my hook again into the last stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert my hook into the bottom of that stitch, yarn over, pull up 1, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, creating the second extension stitch. So again, insert your hook into the bottom, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull up 1, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, and pull through 2, creating the third stitch. And we're going to do that 2 more times so that we have a total of 5 extension stitches. And again, I am going to turn and just work my way back down. Okay. So where I am at now is I am working this second set of extension stitches down, and then I'm going to come back up and work a longer set of extension stitches right here, and then we will do a few full rows on those extension stitches before we come back to do this edging. Now, to mirror this, it's quite a bit more simple. All we are doing here is we are coming up and stopping short on our rows, creating a short row, working down, and then creating a second short row right here before we go into a section of decrease stitches. And this portion of the bag is also flat. And then we have a small section right here where there are no more increase or decrease rows before we get to the last half of the bag, where we now have some sections of increases. We then here on this side are doing these same extension stitches that we did here. We are creating those right here, doing the long set of extensions to create the bulk of the second strap, a few rows, and then again these last couple of short rows before we get to this portion where we are mirroring this here with, instead of increased stitches, we are using decreased stitches. Now along this entire bag I have all of these different stripes. There's no pattern to them to give it a very kind of unique look. So what I'm going to do now is complete this bag panel. I'm going to finish that up, and then I will jump back in once I have both panels created and show you how I'm going to add all of the detailing to this bag. Okay, so I have finished up both bag panels. If you look, this is one that is finished without all of the surface detailing, and this is the one that I started adding some of my surface detailing to. Now, I'm not going to do the same surface detailing on both panels so that it's going to make each side look slightly different. So just so I'm clear on that, each panel has the same exact striping. But once we add all of these little details using things like the surface slip stitch, using a running stitch, using a, I guess I would call this like a surface wrap stitch, using all those different types of stitches on the actual material that we've created, it is going to make each side look slightly different and unique. And then once I have these details obviously laid out differently than they are here, but these details on this panel, that is when I am going to seam these two bag panels together, and then we are going to finish all of this out. Okay, quickly before I get started working my way through the next panel with the surface detailing, I just want to come in here closely so I can show these surface detailings to you. This right here is done just by going on a diagonal, wrapping around the single crochet stitches. This is done by going over and under every other single crochet stitch. This is another wrapping stitch. This is a surface slip stitch, more wrapping stitches, and as you can see, I went in opposite directions to give it a bit of a chevron look. I'm probably going to add some more of that in here. And again, more surface slip stitch, more running seams, and there's really no rhyme or reason to why I'm placing them where I'm placing them. I'm just making sure that it contrasts well and that it helps add quite a bit more texture and detail to these panels. So I'm gonna start doing that here. All right, so I finished up my bag. I absolutely love how it turned out, but it is huge and I can't even get the whole thing in the camera frame without having to come out way too much where you can't see any detail. So what I did is, once I had all of my surface detail stitches done on each side, which is different, I seamed from the first row all the way around across the bottom and back up to the top, and then I placed one round of single crochet along each part of the opening of the bags with the straps, and one set of surface slip stitch right here. And now what that one set of surface slip stitch along with the single crochet in the row ends did was not get rid of, but reduce the stretch that you get on these straps, because like I said, this bag is huge. This tote bag can go anywhere with you. You could take this to the beach. This is big enough to use as an overnight bag. I mean, you could definitely fit a pair of pajamas, your toiletries, and a quick change of clothes in this bag. It is massive. I cannot wait to see all of the different color combos that you guys pick. I feel like the taupe would be great to swap out for a navy blue and to still stick with the ecru and the camel. The taupe and the ecru would be great to keep, and maybe switch this out for bay leaf, which I was just using. I'm not sure if I have a skein here. I don't, but imagine dragonfly in place of the camel or the ecru. That would be great, or even in place of the taupe. I don't know. There are just so many color options for you to pick from with Lion Brand's 24/7 cotton, which is part of why I love, sorry, I've got the baby on my lap now. Part of why I love this yarn. There are so many options for you to choose from. Yeah! There are so many options for you to choose from. So many options for you to choose from. Please make sure that you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video. Because he's adorable.